Hey there, my name is Amanda, and I want to welcome you to this video that's either going to save you a wasted subscription or explains why the one you've already got maybe isn't working for you yet. Now, most businesses that I work with, they invest in Trainual, and it is an investment expecting the tool to fix a knowledge problem. Now, it's not going to be able to do that, not on its own. In order for you to understand that, I want to dig in a little bit into what is actually going on and why that is the case. Trainual is a platform. It is an amazing platform, and it's where you're going to store your standard operating procedures, your onboarding program, your policies, your how we do things here. And like I said, it is genuinely amazing software. I say that as a Trainual certified partner and an expert administrator. And I've built these systems out for other businesses, not just my own. But here's the thing. Here's where you might get stuck, or people maybe don't tell you before you sign up. Trainual doesn't automatically know your business. This is you. You know your business. Or more accurately right now, only a few people in your business know your business. So when a business buys Trainual, uploads a pile of half-finished, Google Docs or some old PDFs, maybe a couple of Loom videos that nobody's ever seen or proofread, and calls it a day, that's not a system, my friends. That is a junk drawer that comes with a login, right? You may have done this in your business, or you've seen other businesses do it. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. Best intentions, not followed through on. So now that we've covered that, let's get clear on what has to be true before Trainual will actually work in your business. Number one, someone has to take ownership of the structure, not the content. I'm talking about the structure here. What sits under what? What a new hire needs to see in one week, first week, versus month 2 versus month 3. Now, this is a mistake that I see constantly. A business just dumps everything into one flat list. And, if we're lucky, it's organized by department because we organize it on how the org chart looks, right? But new hires, they don't think in departments. They think in tasks. So how do I handle this client request? What do I do when this happens? And if your structure is built purely around your org chart instead of how people actually go looking for information, it just becomes this filing cabinet that never gets opened, no matter how much love, care, and attention you've put into it. Now, number 2, the knowledge, we have to get it out of people's heads first. This is the part that a lot of you are skipping. Someone gets assigned to go and fill out the Trainual as a task, and they sit down and they try to write things from memory on top of their job that they're already struggling to get done in a day, in a week, in a month, in spare time that doesn't exist, right? So that never works, which is why we do so much work. But what works is your team, actually taking the time to interview the people who actually do the work. You need to sit with your operations manager for 20 minutes, ask them how they get a task done, record it, and ask them to walk through exactly what she does in relation to that task and why. You'll get more usable knowledge from one conversation than from 3 months of, hey, how are you going with that thing I asked you to document? When you get a chance, can you just do this one for me? And team, now here's the other thing. It's not just the steps in a process you're after. It's the judgment calls that people make. I do it this way unless the client's account is over a certain size, in which case I escalate it. Now that line is pure gold. It's worth more than the entire step-by-step process. And it's the part that almost never makes it into a written document because it feels so obvious to the person that already knows it and who's doing it on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. Now, number 3, team, for your Trainual to really serve you at the highest level, you need to map out role-based paths. Now, not everyone needs to see everything. For example, the sales team doesn't need your finance SOPs, and your new hire in customer service doesn't need to wade through content that's meant for senior operations staff to find the one thing that is relevant to them. Now, I see this all the time. A business will give everyone access to everything because, hey, it's simpler to set up, right? Not so much. It isn't. It just means that every person has to do their own filtering every single time, which means most people give up and just go back to asking one of the humans in the business. Build it by role so that people land on what's relevant to them and fast. Now, number 4, someone has to care for that puppy, all right? Someone has to keep this alive. If we don't care for our systems, they rot. A process changes, nobody updates the SOP, and 6 months later, you've got a new starter who's following the old way of getting things done. They get it wrong, and it's not their fault, right? And what ends up happening over time, everyone stops trusting the system and you're back at square one. You're paying for this expensive and amazing piece of software that no one actually uses. Now, it needs an actual owner and it needs a cadence, a rhythm. Hope is not a strategy. And we can't just keep saying, I hope someone's going to update that eventually. Even a quarterly 15, 20-minute check of what's changed since last time keeps it honest. Now, number 5, and this is the big one, Trainual is the container. It's not your strategy. Your strategy is deciding what goes in, how it's structured, and how your team actually finds it when they need it. Now, that's not a question related to the software. That's a question related directly to your business. Now, remember, if your Trainual setup is a mess, team, that's not a failure. It's just what happens when we buy the tool before we've done the thinking. And most businesses do it in that order. It's okay. I gotcha. It's totally fixable and it's usually faster than people expect once we get into a cadence of capturing that knowledge properly. And this is exactly what we talk about when we're talking about building a business search engine, not just a folder for standard operating procedures, but a place where your team can find the right processes, decision-making strategy, or standard the minute they need it. Now, Trainual can be the home for that. It's just not the thing that builds it or creates it. And here's the thing. I've searched the globe. I've been working with businesses just like yours for years to help them build a place where their knowledge management and their learning management comes together to become their business search engine. And Trainual truly is the best platform that get this done and build the thing that you need to set your business up for success. Whether it's just about delegating so that everyone in the team is set up to win and you're consistently achieving the high standards you want in the business. Maybe you want to sell your business. Maybe you're looking to franchise. Or maybe it's just about, as a founder or a CEO, being able to take that 3-week holiday without being worried that the wheels are going to fall off. So that said, if you need help setting up, cleaning up, or structuring your Trainual so your team can actually use it and set everyone up for success, that's exactly what we can help with at Imaginate. As I said, we are Trainual certified partners and expert administrators. And that's exactly how we get things done. Thanks so much for tuning into the video, and we will catch you next time. And hey, if you'd like our 30 days to Trainual success cheat sheet, drop the word cheat sheet in the comments below and we'll make sure that you get a copy. Thanks for tuning in.